Today I have the pleasure of speaking with Jeff Seibert. He's the CEO for Seair Inc. How are you doing today, Jeff?
Thanks. Good, Tracy.
Now, you just announced a deal with Newalta. Water treatment processing, explain this to me.
Yeah, real quickly, it's using our technology to change the pH of water before it goes downhole and very cost effectively.
Well, I'll be honest with my InvestorIntel audience. They have a bunch of awards on their website, and I had no idea what this was, so I gave it to Dr. Duchesne to explain it to me. Since I have Jeff here, Jeff, tell me, you have a very, very competitive gas diffusion processing technology, yes?
Yes.
Okay, can you try and explain it to the layman here?
Yeah, in a nutshell, we produce gas bubbles that are finer than they're typically done, and that means they dissolve faster and react faster with the water that they're going into.
Okay, and this particular technology is in demand. You have the most cost-effective, and I saw some diagrams about how you use this in the oil sands, for instance. Can you explain this a little bit better?
Yes, all the oil sands projects are all water-related, and there's a couple things: removing oil from water, which is in an emulsion, changing pH, like the Newalta order, and also dewatering in the oil sands for groundwater purification.
So here we have a stock that appeals to all of you interested in clean tech, technology, and oil and gas. You have a lot of target markets, and I think what was a little bit confusing to me is the many applications that you actually can utilize, because water processing treatment in itself is a huge market.
Yeah, I mean, water processing is not a market. It's an application within many markets, which you just pointed out. Oil and gas is one of the largest, with some of the biggest opportunities, and where they currently incur some of the largest costs for waste treatment, which we bring down very effectively.
Part of the reason I got involved in this story was that I was told they had brought in a turnaround king into the company to make this company fly because this was a genius technology. You were brought in. Tell us what you're planning on doing. Okay,
my plan is to take what you pointed out, Tracy, and seeing the broad application of our product and distilling it down into markets that have where we deliver the highest value and have the largest problems, and focus on those first. And it goes, again, those are in oil and gas primarily, but then we have other places we can go with it afterward. But really, it's focus on the technology where it delivers the highest value.
And this technology, numerous patents. Can you tell me a little bit more specifically about your number one revenue generating area right now?
Probably the largest is in the separation of oil from water, from produced water that comes out of the oil patch, and recovering that oil, which currently gets thrown away very cost effectively. So it basically puts money in the pocket of the producer because they're now selling oil that they were previously disposing of.
Okay, that sounds really intriguing. Can you explain that a little bit better for me?
In the oil patch, water is used to basically, in older well structures, to pump downhole to force oil back up. So obviously water comes up with that oil. Crude methods are used to separate it. Oil will separate from water all by itself if it's in large quantity because it's lighter and it flows to the top. But much of the oil is entrained in almost an emulsion-like state that is very stable and it doesn't come out. Our technology, with the very fine bubbles that we produce with air going in, or nitrogen in this case, attaches to the fine oil droplets and now is able to float those off and recover those where currently they were unobtainable.
All right, so I get it. You're the most cost-effective, efficient treatment of this type. Is that correct?
That's correct, because we do it, our device has no moving parts, therefore it's very low maintenance, no extra energy needs to go into operating it. And therefore, from a standpoint of energy consumption as well as maintenance, there's nothing that comes close.
Well, no pressure, of course, on you, but you've been brought in to turn this company around. It's won a bunch of scientific awards. All the scientists in my life love this story. What do you plan on doing in the next 6 months for us as shareholders?
What we're doing is really, it's how to take that, package that product and package that technology and then take it to the market. And rather than trying to develop an internal sales channel, if you will, to go after this, you can imagine oil and gas is a broad field and it's global, is to engage with strategic partners that actually incorporate our solution into their overall solution. So therefore, we make them more effective, they're more effective to their clients, so they're able to capitalize as well as us. And that way, I don't have to hire an army of salespeople, which requires a lot of capital investment.
Well, there you go. For everybody always complaining that all I do is tout resource stocks, here's a technology stock for you that can be used in the resource sector. Thank you so much, Jeff.
Thanks, Tracy.